Shalom Evracha, welcome to the weekly Shir and Zera Shimshon. It's Thursday, Yom Hey Pashas Naso here in Chutz La'aretz, Yud Beis L'Chodesh Sivan Tavshim Pevav. We are still standing in the 7 days post Shavuos, which are called Shivas Yimei Tashlumin, and many Hasidim don't say Tachnan in these days because you can still bring karbonos that a person didn't bring on the Yom Tov of Shavuos. And others refer to these days as days of Sheva Brachas, of the great Chasna, the great celebration that we were Zoiche to get married to the Heilige Torah Gdosha on the Yom Tov of Shavuos. Yom Chasinasoi Zu Matan Torah. It was a Chasna, it was a wedding. We united with the Eibishter, and most Farim tell us that the Eibishter was the Chasn, and we are the Kala. The Eibishter is the Mashpia, and we are the Kala, we are Makabel, and we had to ready ourselves, prepare ourselves to be a good Kala, Eze Isha Kashera, Oiser Ritzoim Baila. And that was the nice of a Nishma, to mevatel ourselves to the Ratzon of the Eibishter. But there's other sources that we'll see here in the Zera Shimshon that say that we are the Chasn, and the Torah is our Kala. And there's a Vart said that if you want to know after Shavuos who was really the Chasn, who really had a meaningful Shavuos, so they say a mashal, if you go to a Chasna and you're looking around to figure out who's the Chasn, there's many people dancing and jumping, and in the middle circle, in that circle, how are you going to know who's the real Chasn? The answer is wait till the end of the Chasna. Whoever takes home the Kala, that is the real Chasn. And the same goes Shavuos. We all stay up Shavuos night and we hear Seres Adibras and we eat the Sudas and we kaim Simchas Yantiv. But who is the real Chasn? The one that takes the Kala home, that takes the Torah, and he rededicates himself with a stronger dedication than before, and then he has the Sheva Brachas that we are standing in those days now. And then you have the whole Shana Rishona, and you have to make sure that the Shalom Bayis, is it okay? Nobody gets ignored, Chas v'Shalom. We give enough attention to our newfound Kala. We make sure that we provide her what she needs, and we make sure that we look at her and we learn her and we involve in her life. The Heilige Torah Gdosha wants us to learn it, to be involved in it, and to embrace it, and to cherish it. That's how we normally understand. But let's learn a piece here in Zera Shimshon, Ois Yud Aleph, which seems that he has another understanding. And Lefila Zera Shimshon, we didn't walk home with any Kala Matzah Shavuos necessarily. So here's the Ois Yud Aleph. Ois Yud Aleph, he talks about other topics, but in the middle, he talks about this idea of getting married to the Torah. And he says like this, Amrina b'medrash Rabbi, Resh Geheles, a famous medrash. When a person finishes a Masechta, you make a siyam. Mikan she'oisin suda legamroi shel Torah. When a person finishes a Masechta, then we celebrate and we make a siyam. Va'atorah nikras kala. The Torah is called a kala. Shalanu, like Chazal tell us. Ma kala miskashetes b'chavdalet kishutin. Like the kala adorns herself with 24 types of pieces of jewelry. Kach Torah yesh b'chavdalet sfarim. We have 24 Sfarim in Nach. Zok Zera Shimshon have a problem. So when do we make a Suda? When do we celebrate this Chasna? When you finish the Masechta. Yesh Tadaktik. She'a Suda Zois Hayroel Asoisa B'Haizchalasenu. Masechta Chadasha. When you get married, when do we celebrate? When do we make the whole Chasna, the whole wedding, the whole party? When do you do that? Day one, before you finish. Loiber Gamra. The first day you get married, we start off the chasna with a suda. So why by Torah do we only make a suda when we finish learning a masechta? Why not when you're beginning? This is now the chasna. This is now a reason to celebrate. Says the Zera Shimshon, no. Yesh Shloima. Tamrina bekedushin. Gemara says in kedushin, a person will say to a woman, Chetziach mekadeshesli. I only want to be Mekadesh, half of you. Half. 15% of you I want to be Mekadesh. Eina Mekadeshes. She's not Mekadeshes. Kein Sham, the Gemara says. You tell a woman, I'm going to work for you. So I want to be Mekadosh you with work I'm going to do. Sorry, doesn't work. When you do the work, then come back. Until you've actually finished the Masechta, then a kedushin kamichal. You don't have the kala. The nikras chetziach mekadesh li. You don't have the Torah. Once you finish, then the kedushin and the sunas chal. We learn a masechta. Hitachas yedenu. The oz shaykh lasa suda. When a person learns a masechta, he is marrying that masechta. That becomes like his wife. You have to first finish it, because if not, you don't have your wife. The wife is the Masechta. And this brings to memory the famous story that Chavetz Chaim brings in Torah's Habayis about this person that was Nifta, nobody knew who he was, and all of a sudden they heard a voice of a woman wailing and crying that this special person was Nifta, and this person said, you don't know that this Nifta was a very chashuv person. He took care of me, he fended for me, and he cherished me. And as a result, they made a big lavaya and a hesped. And then they asked this person, it was a woman, and what's your name? She said, Chagiga. Chagiga? She says, yes, I'm called Chagiga. They thought Chagiga is the name of Masechta. And she said, yes, this is because I am that Masechta's Chagiga, and this Chashva Talmid Chacham learned me from cover to cover, day and night, and therefore I became his wife. And therefore, when he passed away, she was there to give him the honor that he truly deserves. So one Masechta is a marriage. You get married to the Masechta. Before you finish the Masechta, then there's no wife. Over there, Yotlan Atam says Azar Shimshon 2 paragraphs later. A person should only learn what he desires. When a person gets married, also like Kaddish Isha, Kodim Shirena, you have to find that this kala of yours finds favor in your eyes. Before a person sees the kala, you can't get Mekadeshas. Shemelak Timsachem Einov. But Torah Shilonu Kikala Tsunua. The Heilig Torah is our kala. There's a very deep bond, a deep relationship of love, of ava, of connection. And that has to find favor in your eyes. So first, make sure this Masechta has chen. That means you see the Masechta, you see it's compatible to you, you like it, you enjoy it, then go ahead and marry that Masechta. The Gemara says, when Rabbi was learning one Masechta, he says, don't ask me other Masechtas. I'm learning Masechtas Chulin, I'm learning Yavamas, don't ask me another Masechta. Why? Because of Shulchan Aruch Ibn Ezra. Not ideal to marry two wives. Here too, I'm learning Masechta A. This is an absolute marriage. Said Rabbi, misasing ba'avas kalachas like tishaloi ba'avas isha acheres. A Masechta is a marriage. There's a very deep connection. A person should eat with the Masechta, sleep with the Masechta, think about the Masechta, bond with the Masechta. That's called a marriage. So Shavuos in the world of the Zera Shimshon was not yet the marriage. You first have to finish the Masechta. Shavuos was the commitment, the Naisa and Nishma. We makabel upon ourselves to be mechazek our kviyas itbel Torah, mechazek our connection, and then we're going to be zoicha to learn the Masechta, and the Masechta will find chen in our eyes, and then we're zoicha to marry the Masechta. Kadas Moshe Yisrael, and it should be a kesher shel kiyama, a binyan adei ad, and we should be zoicha to have happily marriages with the Heilig Torah Kedusha. So Chusay Agadol Vakadish Yagid Aleinu, Besuras Tovas, a good Shabbos.